Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your guy, Realistic here, and I'm going to be introducing to you Simba. He was the guitar player on this dope loop pack that we just dropped. It's all exclusive guitar loops that you can't get anywhere else because we handmade these just for you. They're not ripped off of old records or anything like that. We actually sat down together and we figured out what would be kind of the dope content that you would like. So I'd like to introduce Simba. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Man, I'm doing good, man. It's always a dope time when you're in the studio with me. Actually, earlier today, we're actually doing the interview as a last-minute thing. Earlier in the day, we've been spending all day in the studio making brand new stuff that we're working on. We're working on a new project and stuff together, so
Some crazy stuff.
crazy stuff. It's always crazy. So I gotta ask the most obvious question if we're gonna dive into this. Question that anybody would ask: how long have you been playing guitar, man?
I've been playing guitar for about 13 years. So
13 years.
Yeah. So what's crazy is a lot of guitar players, especially in guitar is a very rock and metal based instrument. A lot of the best ones, they start when they're like in their teens, like
True.
13,
Yep.
15, 16. So I started young. I think to my knowledge, the only person who started younger than me was Ted Nugent.
How old was he?
6.
6? Okay.
He was 6 when
Gotcha.
he started. But yeah, I've been playing
What
since
year
I was
did
9.
Eric Clapton start?
That I
I
don't
felt
know.
like it was. Yeah, I read his book one time.
It might have been. It might have been like early teens or
Okay.
something like that. But yeah,
So
was when I
9,
started.
man.
Yeah,
So what got you into guitar? That's my question.
a lot of it was just the music I was listening to.
Oh.
So I grew up. I'm from Minnesota. Obviously,
Yeah.
very. It's a lot of either country or rock.
Facts.
And around the time when I started playing guitar, I was listening to a lot of like alternative punk music.
Okay.
So bands like, or just alternative rock. So bands like Green Day, Taking Back Sunday, My Chemical Romance, more into the metal stuff, Your System of a Down, Avenged Sevenfold,
yeah.
Slipknot, Korn. And for some reason, I was always gravitated towards the guitar. And it didn't hurt also that my dad played guitar.
That makes sense.
So yeah, and I would hear him play, Metallica, or my cousin Travis. He would play some something I heard on the radio. I was like, that's so cool. I want to do that.
Yeah.
So that's
that makes sense. And a lot of the music too that you'd hear in like System of a Down or something like that, it's very guitar based. So
heavily guitar based. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Absolutely, man. So what were some of your influences as far as guitar players go? Like, what were some of your favorite people, not necessarily your favorite bands, but people that just play guitar? What were some of your influences?
some of my biggest ones are, I'm actually much more of a blues blues player, and so I love the top people in blues. So your Clapton, B.B. King, rest in peace.
Yeah. Yep.
Albert King, Stevie Ray Vaughan, rest in peace.
Oh
also.
man, he's fire.
John Mayer for the newer guys.
I knew John Mayer was gonna. I mean, how could you not though? His skill
course.
level is just at a different planet.
I mean, when Eric Clapton says you're a master, it's kind of hard to argue that.
That's true.
Straight up said that.
Yeah.
And then Jimi Hendrix. That name's gotta be in there.
Gotta be in there.
But I also like a lot of R&B players. One of my favorites is actually a guy named Carry Too Smooth. He has a really awesome R&B online course that you can take, and he teaches you a lot. He's mostly played with Tori Kelly.
Oh, okay.
Live, so yeah, he's great. Jules the Wolf, one of the best out there. He played for Justin Bieber on the Purpose Tour.
Oh,
and
that's
he does
dope.
his own
Yeah.
stuff.
You're at a different level playing when you're with Justin Bieber, because they're not gonna pick just anybody. Like, you got to
Right.
be like on top of your game.
Exactly, and that guy is. It's sometimes maddening how good he is. And then I like Patrick Greenway. He's been playing with The Weeknd for I
cool.
think since the beginning.
I'm not surprised to hear that, because I know what a big fan of The Weeknd you are, so I'm not surprised to hear.
And I know I'm gonna butcher his last name, so I'm just gonna say Freaky Rob.
Freaky Rob.
That's what the world knows him as, Freaky Rob. He plays for Kendrick. When he was 18, he was playing with Lil Wayne and Eminem. Yeah, and he also has been playing guitar for those Sunday services that Kanye has been putting on.
Oh man.
So yeah, I like a lot of the session players, the ones that you see live. You won't hear about them like in magazines or
Right,
anything.
yeah.
But those
it's not
are
like a
always-
John Mayer name, but they're
No.
still on like a lot of big records.
Right, and they're
Yeah.
usually the most fire ones.
That's
so.
true. Yep. No, that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
So besides guitar playing, you do, a lot of songwriting. You write songs and stuff like that. So what are some of your influences as far as when it comes to songwriting?
Well, John Mayer was the reason I started writing.
That makes sense.
I heard his writing. I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, John Mayer. I also love The Weeknd's writing. The way he chooses certain words, like throughout his career, like certain words, when you hear it, you know there's about to be a certain thing, like a little chink in his armor type of thing. I'm a big hip hop fan, so I love guys like obviously Kendrick, J. Cole, Chance, Drake, Kanye. I like lyricists, so like Black Thought, Sci-Hi the Prince, and when it comes to writing lyrics, as crazy as this may sound, I also pay attention to battle rappers.
Okay.
Because what they do with...
They're very witty.
Yeah, very witty, and they're... What they use with metaphors and similes and all that stuff you learn in English class, they use it so well.
Man, battle rappers use similes and metaphors at like a whole different level, man.
It's crazy.
It's crazy, man.
So, like, if you know your battle rappers, guys like Hollow to Dawn, Arsenal, Loaded Lux, guys like that, how intricate they get, I always try to see if I can get to that.
Oh, that's dope.
But, and then, if we're going just outside of hip-hop, obviously guys like Justin Vernon from Bon Iver.
Yeah, he's fire.
Francis and the Lights. I mean, come on. And David Ryan Harris. His name you might not know, but he actually used to play guitar. He still plays guitar, actually, for John Mayer live.
Oh, cool.
But he has his own solo career, and he's an amazing R&B, like classic R&B singer-songwriter.
Oh, you wouldn't think that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Oh, and Stevie Wonder, of course.
Yeah, Stevie Wonder is classic, man.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's awesome, man. Can you walk us through the process that it took to write these guitar loops? Because, I mean, there's a lot, man. I know I put a lot of pressure on you as far as changes. I know, man, so we ended up making like 50 or 60 of them all together.
Yeah,
but yeah,
something
just
like
walk
that.
me through the process of how you did this, man.
So it actually there wasn't a whole lot that went into the preparation for it. I would literally just sit down with the guitar and just noodle around, try to come up with chord progressions or anything like that. And if I found something or came up with something that I liked, I would just record it on a voice memo. Now, sometimes what I would do is think like, okay, I haven't done something in this style.
Mm-hmm.
So let me try to write something like that. Or even better is, I haven't written in this key yet. Perfect pitch. You can think of those things. Born with it. So I would be like, man, I haven't written something in F sharp minor yet. All right, let me just write something in that. And then just little things of like, what haven't I done yet? And let me write something to that.
Yeah.
And then there would be some times where I would have to actually grab another guitar just to get the same type of feel. So like if I'd grab another guitar because I want it to sound more jazzy or something like that.
So yeah, I remember that we used different guitars. I know we used acoustic, and there was a few different electric guitars we used.
Yeah, a few electrics with different pickups, 7 strings, all sorts of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Different amps, all sorts of crazy stuff.
Yeah, I remember we used different amps, different pedals. So during the process of writing the loops, what kind of things inspired you to what kind of projects inspired you to make the loops? I know one of the sessions you mentioned House of Balloons you were listening to a lot.
Mm-hmm.
What were some other things that just really inspired you to make these particular loops?
Rodeo by Travis Scott.
Okay,
for sure.
Yeah,
House of Balloons, Rodeo. I'm trying to think. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Yeah, some of the guitar work that Mike Dean on there. Try to match that.
I think I know there was some styles of Chalice Gambino's Awaken My Love that kind of creeped in there a little bit.
Yeah, kind of.
Right, yeah.
There's definitely some Gambino in there.
Yeah.
A little bit of Kendrick.
Kendrick,
too,
yeah.
Like Good Kid, Mad City vibes.
Yep.
Yeah, albums like that.
And because you would listen to these kind of on the way to the studio too. I remember. So I remember the day that we started our third or fourth time with the electric guitars. We were doing acoustic for a while, and then we switched over to electric. I remember you said that you were listening to that album quite a bit before you got into the studio.
Yeah, and that's one of the benefits of having such a long drive. Is, you get to listen to a full album on the way there.
Was it like an hour or something like that?
A little over an hour to get there. And I would listen to Rodeo on my way there, or Awaken My Love, or Dark Fantasy. Listen to those in full on the way there, just to get in those.
In the mood for them and stuff like that. Yeah, for sure. So, when making the loops, what was your favorite part about this whole process? Because I know there was definitely some challenging things, because it's different than just going in and making a song. It's like, boom, all right, let's move on this and move it. Well, what was your favorite part of doing this whole process?
Probably tone selection.
Tone selection?
As crazy it is, because guitar players, we are so picky about our tones. It's unreal. And when you finally get the right one, I mean, guitar players can spend up to half an hour just trying to get the right tone. And, luckily we had a much easier time with that. And we were just trying to decide, like, do I want to use an overdrive pedal or a fuzz box or anything like that? It's like, well, let's try it. Let's try everything.
It all. Yeah. That's what's cool about the loops.
Yeah.
Is you get to probably try more things than you normally would. Like when you go in a studio and you work with a singer, you kind of have to stay within the confines of their vision. Whereas with these loops, there was like a lot of like, I guess we'll try this.
Yeah, exactly. And even like, okay, well, what if I, turn down my tone knob so we roll off a lot of the high end, giving a more muffled sound. Let's try that.
Might as well, right?
Right, we got the time.
Or maybe I've always wanted to do this style of playing, but like, most of the time the artist won't let me do it.
Right, there was definitely, especially like Spanish guitar, there was some
influence. I remember there's a couple little licks in there. For sure.
Try to throw that in there.
So all right, so we got the loop project. It's out. What projects are you working on now? What do you kind of got planned up as far as your own stuff going outside of the loops?
So right now I'm actually working on my first full project.
Was it EP you dropped last year though, right? Gemini.
Gemini was a mixtape.
Mixtape. Got you.
Yeah, that was a mixtape that I put out on my SoundCloud. Released about a year ago a little over a year ago.
Yeah.
But now. Just working on my first full project.
First full-length album.
Yeah, first full-length album, which I'm really excited for.
Which you played a little bit for me today, which is dope, man.
Yeah,
I'm excited about that. A lot of Oracle loops on that one, man.
Lots of Oracle
I was surprised about that, man. That's dope, man.
Yeah, well, I can't help it. When I listen to the loops, I'm just like, oh, okay, gotta make one.
You gotta use them, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. I heard like No Games in there. XO. I think I heard Articulate in there.
Articulate. There might be a few from like Spacewalk.
Okay, that's a dope one. Yeah, Spacewalk was dope.
Yeah, and of course the drums are all.
The same with me, man. It's hard not to, man.
Right. Again, when you hear it, you're just like, okay, I might as well use this.
Plus, I work for Oracle, so I gotta use the sounds. Right?
Exactly.
I mix all the sounds, so it's like, why not use them?
Yeah.
I got them here.
But you think that's crazy? What you heard today? Wait till I add the guitars to it.
Oh man, I'm excited to that, man. I'm really excited about that.
That's one thing I gotta.
Do you have a tentative name possibly for this project, or a tentative date?
At the moment, neither.
All right, hey, sometimes that's best, man, because then you can really, it takes away the pressure of like, oh god, I have to have it done with this. It also kind of lets you have a little bit more like freedom as far as subject, instead of like, oh no, that doesn't fit what I'm going for. So that can be a smart move sometimes.
I'm definitely pulling a Frank Ocean and taking my time with this one.
I mean, what's the rush? You're not signed to a label. You don't have a record label that's saying, yo, you need it done by this. So it's, why not get it right? And then when you release it to the fans and stuff, they can actually get a project that actually was well invested into. Right. So
it definitely won't take 4 years though.
Yeah. Are you making fun of my album?
No, I'm talking about Frank Ocean.
Okay, Frank Ocean. Because that's how long my album took, was 4 years. So I was like, wait a minute.
No, I wouldn't.
We got to ask the obvious question. Where can everybody find you on social media?
All my social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, it's all at Simba Does Music. All one word, CYMBA Does Music.
Yeah, so like symbol without the L, right? Yeah,
Exactly.
Simba. He spells Simba a little bit different, which I like. I always like when people take more of a unique approach. And as far as Spotify, Apple Tunes title, they just find you under Simba with a C, right? It's not Simba Does Music, right?
There's one track I released under the name Simba Does Music.
Oh, okay.
That's actually the single off of Gemini called Memories. But everything else that I've released, my first EP and the single before that, Never, that's all been under the name Simba.
Gotcha. Awesome, man. Well, that's everything that I had to ask you on the interview, man. I not only appreciate you coming for this interview, but I really appreciate you being a part of these loops. These loops turned out super, super fire. I'm really happy with them. I know you put in a lot of extra work that I haven't seen, working with other people. Sometimes, they would work hard, but like I seen you put in a lot of extra work because you really cared about it, and that's something that I really, really appreciated about this, man. So,
thank you, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I appreciate you coming through. This is Simba. I'm Realistic. Please check out our new loop pack. It is available on SoundOracle.net. You can get it. Super fire. Got everything that you need in there. The BPM, the key signatures. It's all in the title. We got layers. We layered it all up. You can get the individual stems if you want. If you want to get that as an upgrade right there. So it gives you a lot of opportunities. Not only do you get stereo loops, but all the individual stems you think about. That's hundreds of possible beats that you could make. So like I said, go check it out. It's at SoundOracle.net.